Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be Own Your Purpose, Own Yourself. Well, I've got an email success story here from a guy who's been following my work for a while. And what's nice, he details how applying what he learned in my book, How to Be a 3% Man, as well as my second book, Mastering Yourself, has helped him to dramatically increase the level of success in his personal life as well as professional life. So I have a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, "Taking action towards what you want in life is the best way to reduce your fear of the future and what may or may not go your way. Your life and destiny is shaped by the decisions you make and the actions you take or fail to take. Time is going to pass no matter what you do or fail to do. Life evolves and changes for the better incrementally and usually much slower than you expect. Unsuccessful people give up and stop trying when their life does not radically change for the better in an unreasonably short period of time. Successful people think in terms of decades and take action even though success seems far off or unrealistic. Taking action that is productive makes you feel good and gives you hope of a positive future outcome." Well, to borrow terminology from physics, bodies at rest tend to stay at rest. Bodies in motion tend to stay in motion. Life happens when you move. Stagnation happens when you die, as Panache Desai said, which I love that quote. So let's go through his email. He says, "Hey, Coach, I wrote you a few weeks back, but I know you're busy, or I know how busy you are. No sweat. I just feel the need to share yet another success story with you in hopes that this inspires others who follow your work to keep plugging along. You rock." Well, thanks for sharing. I always like great success stories so people can tell me exactly what they're using from the books or the videos and how it's changing and impacting their lives, because there's going to be somebody that's watching on video or listening to the podcast version on iTunes or SoundCloud, and they're going to be going through a difficult time, and they're going to be full of doubts, full of fear, and they're going to be wondering if success is in the cards for them, and then they're going to hear your success story. And that's going to give them the hope to keep plugging along, keep grinding, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter towards what they want. He says, "Over the last couple of months, I've seen a complete shift in my attitude, actions, and as a result, my life circumstances." So this is a key point from my book, the first one, How to Be a 3% Man, which is all about, there's a lot of stuff in there about dating skills, pickup skills, and relationship skills, but it really teaches you how to be a man, what masculine energy is all about. And by focusing on your purpose and your mission in life, that embodies what masculine energy is. And that's what women like about us guys, is that we're driven, we're motivated, we know what we want, we know why we want it, and we're going to make it happen one way or another. Hopefully they want to come along and join our fun bus, but if they don't, that's okay too, because no matter what happens, no matter what they do or say or don't do or say, we're still moving towards our purpose in life. That's what masculine energy is. It's constantly moving in that direction, striving to achieve, overcome challenges, breaking through barriers, finding a way when no way looks possible. You keep grinding forward, day in, day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. Because like I said in the quote, the time is going to pass no matter what you do. You can choose to be a lazy ass, or you can choose to get up off your ass and do something. And the bottom line is, big things have little beginnings. The little actions that you take today, tomorrow, next week, next month, all of next year, incrementally, they add up and they ultimately get you to where you want to be, even though life tends to move at a snail's pace. And it's excruciatingly slow. And the reality is we're surrounded by people who have already given up. And they're looking for other people to give up just like they have, because that's kind of like a salve for their wound of the fact that they've given up hope and they don't see any way out of their situation. And so it's on all of us individually to keep grinding forward when the people around us are telling us that our ideas are stupid or that's never going to work out, or who do you think you are, thinking you can have this kind of life when I'm over here suffering? You're no better than me. Who do you think you are? Well, you show people through your example and your actions. He says it's amazing what a little perspective can do. I listen to your video, audio, in podcast form every day at work, which I think we're getting close to 300, I think, that are now have been taken, the audio's been taken off of the videos and uploaded strictly in podcast platform. I think there's close to 20 different podcasting platforms, and they're on all of them. So, if you're worried about bandwidth on your cell phone or your mobile device, you can listen strictly in audio format. I know people were asking for that for years, but go to iTunes right now, go to SoundCloud or your favorite podcasting platform, Spotify, and you can subscribe to my podcast version of there if you'd rather not watch the video. You just miss out on all the stupid faces and the expressions that I make. He says, I literally consume everything you put out. I've read 3% Man now 16 times. There it is again. All the best success stories come from people that read the book 10, 15, 20 times. People that struggle, when I talk to people in phone sessions, they've barely been through the book once or twice. They wonder why they're struggling. Yeah, I heard you say it in the videos, but I just figured I could cherry pick a few things here and there from videos, and that would solve my problems. That's a half-ass effort. That's somebody that's not serious about their success. That's somebody that's going to usually make more excuses than they are taking actions. And then they wonder why their lives aren't any better than they are. You have to do the work. There's no way of getting out of it. You got to put the time in. Every day you choose to move your life forward or you choose to stay stuck where you are. So he's read 3% Man 16 times, and he's now in the third read of Mastering Yourself, which is my second book. This one's more about aligning your life with your true calling, figuring out your purpose, your mission in life. I go through all the things that I do health-wise. It helps keep me young and vital and looking good. I'm almost 49 now. I look pretty damn good for a guy my age. But all of the best mindset strategies I've learned, time management, a lot of business stuff, business marketing, a lot of things that I typically discuss with clients in phone sessions, I've put it in book format. That way, when we're doing phone sessions, we don't have to go through those things that you can read on your own. And you can go to my website, understandingrelationships.com, subscribe to the email newsletter, and that way you can get both of my books and start reading them now for free instead of waiting till you got the money to afford it or your next payday. I mean, do it right now. As Tony Robbins says, never leave the scene of making a decision without taking some kind of action towards its attainment. And so if you're one of those high-achieving individuals and you want better, you want to improve your life, pause the video, pause the audio, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the free ebook or any of the email sign-up boxes, which you'll see at the top of every page or in the upper right-hand corner, and subscribe to the newsletter so you can read the book for free. So he says, I'd like to highlight two main areas in this email. The first being my social and relationship wins, and the second being my career wins. I have a ton of momentum, and I owe it all to your work. My friends remark to me every day how energetic and happy I seem. They tell me that I ooze positivity and that my vibe portrays utter fearlessness. Well, like I said in the opening quote, when you're too busy taking action, you're not going to be worried about what may or may not happen. You're at being productive in that moment, and therefore that's why the fear tends to subside. But if you're sitting around doing nothing and worrying about what may or may not happen in the future, you're out of the present moment. And since you're not doing anything, like Dale Carnegie said, inaction breeds fear and doubt. Taking action breeds confidence and courage. You have to move. You have to take action. If you're scared and you're worried about the future, do something to feel better, even if it's getting up off your ass and going to the gym and working out or making some healthy green juice. i.e. go watch the video that I did years ago, how to make Corey's green juice. Do something that's going to make your life better, that's going to improve your health and improve the quality of your life. He says, I've been dating multiple high-quality women at the same time, and I continue to push the bar on the type of women I want in my life. They all tell me they love how easy I make it to get together, hang out, and have fun. Well, as the formula goes, hang out, have fun, and hook up. The men need to be direct, decisive, and get right to the point when it comes to dating, and women like that. They like a guy that knows what he wants. Again, that communicates masculine energy, that they're dealing with a real man. Not one of these indecisive beta males that's dancing around in a circle chasing their tail because they're too afraid to open that big hole in their face and ask for what they want. They comment on my decisiveness and how they admire that I know exactly what I want. I don't chase, over-pursue, and I only use the phone to set dates. I approach women without fear. I mean, if you think about it from the perspective of you're giving these women that you don't know the gift of you, of your time. In other words, you think they're worthy of you coming over to talk to them. And quite frankly, they see a lot of guys that have interest but never make the approach. Even if you get rejected, you win because you took action. And the reality is it's a numbers game. Most of the women that you're going to approach, they're not going to like you. They're going to be married. They're going to have boyfriends, or they're just simply not going to be interested, and that's okay. You have to at least show up as a man. When you see somebody that knocks your socks off or lights your soul on fire, you got to take action, because even if you go down in flames, at least you know. Instead of walking away and seeing a girl and maybe she looks at you and you think, wow, I'd really like to go out with somebody like that. And then you just keep on walking. And then you'll be thinking about her for the next 3 or 4 days. What if that was my soulmate? What if that was the one? Even though I don't personally believe in the one, I believe there's lots of women for us. We have lots of potential soulmates. Because thinking that there's only one, again, goes into a scarcity mindset. And I've started making dates on the spot in person. A year ago, this was unfathomable. Just this morning, I saw a 10 on the bus to work. I approached her, created some light rapport, and I went for the kill. I told her I couldn't help myself but tell you how unbelievably drawn to you I am. That's pretty authentic and real. And she's obviously going to appreciate that. She responded positively, and even though she turned me down, she claimed to have a boyfriend, she told me she thought I was really handsome and that she appreciated how direct I was. In other words, he wasn't creepy, he wasn't going up to her and trying to talk about something totally unrelated. He came right up to her, because women know when you look at them and they look at you and you make eye contact and you walk over, they know you're coming over because you're interested. Not because you're coming over to sell them fucking something that they don't want or need. But when you come over and she can tell you like her, and then you beat around the bush and you talk about other things totally unrelated to why you're there, it shows a lack of confidence in yourself, as if you're almost apologizing for liking her and being interested, and you're working up the nerve through the conversation to tell her the real reason why you walked up. And the reality is, as soon as you made eye contact, she knew what you wanted. She told me she'd see me around sometime with a smile, and I said, you absolutely will. Giving her a wink, and I walked away. I felt incredible, even though I didn't get the date. Every loss to me is a win. Yeah, because she got approached by a real fucking man for a change in her life, and even though she was taken, you weren't creepy, you weren't weird. You went up there unapologetically, told her what you thought, what she made you feel, and you were respectful, and you're like, hey, have a great day. So you walk away feeling great about yourself. She walks away feeling great and beautiful and sexy, and she'll probably go home and fuck her boyfriend's brains out tonight, and while she's doing that, she'll probably be thinking of you. In my career, I'm making moves to get where I want to be. I work in tech sales, and even though I'm just a few months out of school, they're allowing me to interview for another position at my company that I'm much more passionate about. They're bending the rules for me. This is what happens when you're in your masculine energy. People want to help you. Think about it. When Tom Brady walks into the room, everybody wants to do, hey, let me buy you a drink. Let me buy you dinner. Oh, here, why don't you cut in front of me in line? People want to help you. They said, this is his employer, you've made a conscious effort to express what you want, and it's clear you're following your heart. In other words, they recognize his passion and his determination, and to reward him for that, because it's usually very rare, and they know they got a special employee, and they want to keep him around, they're willing to bend the rules for him because he's earned it. He deserved it. He says, I'm ecstatic. Life right now is incredible, and while nothing is guaranteed, I feel a tremendous amount of gratitude for my situation. I love myself, and I live it every day. To those who've fallen off the horse, get back on. Half the battle is showing up. You said that in a podcast I listened to this morning. Haha. It's true. I think it was Woody Allen of all people who said 80% of success is simply showing up. Because the reality is, if you're watching this video right now or you're listening to the podcast version, you're way ahead of 97% of the other people that won't even do that. They're not even at the starting line. They're not even willing to do anything to help themselves. That's why when you learn the things that I teach, you really aren't going to have much competition, if any at all. And the world is your oyster. And as men, we owe it to ourselves at least that much. So he says, I want others to know how important it is to own your purpose and own who you are. I'll be writing you again in the future, and I look forward to other great success stories. So if you got a great success story or a question or topic you'd like to see me cover in a future video newsletter, you can send it to questions@understandingrelationships.com, and that's relationships with an S. That's questions@understandingrelationships.com. And if you'd like to get my help personally to do a phone or a Skype coaching session, if you happen to be on the other side of the world, go to my website, understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching option. And until then, I will talk to you soon.